Take seat.
Since 1964, drill sergeants have been responsible for training our Army's volunteer fighting force. Fort Jackson is home to the only drill sergeant academy in our Army and is responsible for providing drill sergeants to every training center across the initial military training enterprise. Since its inception, the purpose of the United States Army Drill Sergeant Program is to transform non-commissioned officers into drill sergeants who in turn have the responsibility to transform civilians into soldiers, our national treasure. The thousands of American young men and women who have volunteered to answer the call of a grateful nation. The job of a drill sergeant is one of a professional trainer, coach, mentor, and leader. This is not an easy or simple job, and it comes with sacrifices that each drill sergeant must make in order to perform this extremely important mission. Those who are graduating today will spend the next 2 to 3 years on the trail training the next generation of our Army. The phrase "on the trail" comes from the frontier days when cattle were driven from California to Colorado to be marketed. The original drill sergeants coined this phrase because of the similar process of moving soldiers from one place to another with few problems or loss along the way. There is a continued effort to move drill sergeants to that high degree of excellence and expertise for which they are known. The drill sergeant course is both stressful and challenging. The 9 weeks of training are broken down into 12-hour days, adding up to 446 hours of instruction. This training is a privilege reserved for the best of the best. Only the top 10% of all sergeants Army-wide are eligible to attend the drill sergeant course. Not all sergeants complete this difficult period of training. On July 3rd, 2025, 118 candidates arrived. During the course, 51 sergeants were removed for various reasons, with 13 being inserted, resulting in the 80 that are graduating here today. Those graduating represent disciplined, motivated, physically fit drill sergeants who exemplify the drill sergeant creed. All 80 drill sergeants truly are the proud example of our Army and will undoubtedly transform the next generation of civilian volunteers into soldiers that are fully capable of defeating any enemy on today's modern battlefield. Ladies and gentlemen, identified by their distinctive headgear and pistol belt are the drill sergeant leaders responsible for having trained and mentored today's graduating class. Drill sergeant leaders instruct the course in small groups of 20 candidates on average. They are highly motivated, professional, and seasoned drill sergeants who have a minimum of 1 year experience in the initial entry training environment from any of the 4 training centers and advanced individual training locations. They were hand-selected to serve as drill sergeant leaders as a result of demonstrating expert leadership, mastery of warrior tasks and battle drills, and consistently performing at the top 1% of their peers. In addition, all have completed the TRADOC Drill Sergeant Leader Certification Program. Please join me in a round of applause for their hard work and dedication. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commandant of the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy, Command Sergeant Major Joshua R. Vidal.
Woo! Here we go. Good morning.
Good morning.
That's not going to cut it, right? We need to bring some energy in here. Okay, so good morning. Good morning. That's better. Now we can start training. Distinguished guests, families, friends, thank you for joining us today for the Drill Sergeant Academy graduation ceremony for class 01725. From the attendance today, it's clear these drill sergeants have amazing families and friends supporting them. What a great day to be a soldier. An even better day to be here, surrounded by the future of the United States Army, represented by the Army's newest drill sergeants graduating today. The fact that the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy is the gold standard for NCO development and cadre certification is clearly on display today. My name is Command Sergeant Major Josh Bible, the Commandant, proudly serving alongside the most highly motivated and well-trained drill sergeants in the United States Army. A drill sergeant is the standard bearer for the United States Army, and the very epitome of what we expect of a soldier. They live the Army values, exemplify the warrior ethos, and are guardians of the Army profession. Drill sergeants are responsible for coaching, teaching, motivating, inspiring, and mentoring the future of the Army as they transform them from civilians to American soldiers. Typical day as a drill sergeant starts before dawn and ends well after sundown. Drill sergeants are the first impression for every trainee and all that they know of the Army. Drill sergeants make no mistake, they will emulate you. Being a drill sergeant is one of the most demanding and difficult jobs in our Army. It is also one of the most rewarding. How critical a drill sergeant is to our Army cannot be overstated, nor can the sacred trust that is being bestowed on you today. American families across this great land entrust you with the most important thing in their lives, their children. The future of America is being placed in your care for the most formative time in their Army careers, certainly, but I would also say their lives. Your impact will last a lifetime, just as you remember your drill sergeants, Command Sergeant Major retired Roderick McCottrell, and Staff Sergeant First Class retired Ronnie Bush are mine, just in case you're wondering. Almost 29 years ago. So will the soldiers you trained remember you? Will you be remembered for how you invested in them, believed in them when they didn't believe in themselves, always enforced the standard, and challenged them to keep going? Or will you be remembered for something else? Class 01725, congratulations on accomplishing this daunting challenge. You met or exceeded every standard. You surmounted every obstacle. But the challenge is just beginning. Enjoy the time before now and when you report. Take time to reflect on the challenge that lies ahead and what you hope to achieve. There will be days when you are tired, hot, cold, hungry, and more. Look to your battle buddies during those times and spur one another along. Your experience as a drill sergeant will be directly impacted by the battle buddies you have and are. The task is great. You are charged with nothing less than training tomorrow's leaders. The Army, the country, and the Constitution are depending on you. Today's guest speaker is our very own First Sergeant Yanni Mugros. He has been a drill sergeant leader, a senior drill sergeant leader, and now is the HHC First Sergeant. It's a special day for him. He may not draw attention to it, but he was the senior drill sergeant leader of WOLFPACK. Laid the foundation of what it is today, frankly. The long list of assignments in numerous organizations demonstrate his exceptional performance character, and stewardship of the profession. Please join me in welcoming First Armor Group.
Good morning. Distinguished guests, families, cadre, and most importantly, the graduates of the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy. Class 017-25. My name is Yanni Mugros, and I would like to express my gratitude to Command Sergeant Major Vital for allowing me to be today's guest speaker. Today is a special day, a day of pride, a day of achievement, a day of newfound responsibility. Drill sergeants, you have made it through one of the Army's most physically and cognitively challenging schools. With that came long hours, relentless standards, and a constant pressure, but you faced it all. Which brings you to this very special occasion where you will shortly don the campaign or bush hat and officially represent the drill sergeant badge for the first time, all of which are symbols recognized across our Army and the entire world. The campaign hat is more than a uniform item. With it carries a symbolic history. Drill sergeants were officially established in 1964, but the lineage of this role goes back much further. In the earliest days of the Continental Army, General George Washington knew that the success of the Army depended on the discipline and the training of its soldiers. He brought in Baron von Steuben, who drilled ragged volunteers into professional soldiers at Valley Forge. From those bitter days in the cold snow, the tradition of the trainer, the one who transformed civilians into soldiers, was born. Generations later, during Vietnam, the Army recognized the need for professional leaders whose sole focus was turning volunteers into disciplined soldiers. The drill sergeant program was formalized. From then on, the hat became a symbol of precision, discipline, and pride. And today, you join that lineage. You are the living link between our Army's history and its future. Over the next 2 to 3 years, thousands of new soldiers will stand before you. They will arrive uncertain, scared. Some may even regret their decision. They will come from any corner of America with every imaginable background and story. But they will all share one thing in common. You will be their drill sergeant. You will shape them. You will teach them how to march. You will teach them how to shoot. You will teach them how to wear their uniform with pride. But most importantly, you'll fill gaps in lessons and advice that may have been absent in their upbringing, which will change their lives forever. They will learn how to live by the Army values, learn how to trust soldiers to their left and right, and learn how to believe in themselves. Think about the weight of that for a second. Every great soldier this Army has produced, whether it was Audie Murphy storming enemy lines, Sergeant First Class Paul Smith holding his ground in Iraq, or countless others who stood in tall moments of history, have all started the same way. By getting off an Army bus for the first time and standing in formation facing their drill sergeant. That is who you are now. The Army begins with you. Make no mistake, it will test you. The long hours, the demand will be endless. Some days you'll wonder if you made the right decision or if you're making a difference. But remember this, you're planting seeds. You may not always see the results immediately. But for years from now, when one of your trainees re-enlists, leads in combat, saves a life, or simply stands tall in uniform, you'll know you partook in something larger than yourself and helped get that soldier to that moment. Your duty is not just to enforce standards, but to embody them. Every command you give, every correction you make, every example you set will echo. You are the Army's first impressions, and first impressions in our organization last a lifetime. Now don't forget, this role takes heart. The world will only see the hat, the voice, the badge, the authority. But what makes a true drill sergeant is the heart behind it. The heart to push soldiers beyond their limits, but also the heart to see them as people. To remember that behind every trainee is someone's son or daughter. Someone who has placed their trust in the Army. And the byproduct of that is immediate trust in you. To the families here today supporting those to the families here today and those supporting from afar, we see you. We know the sacrifice isn't made by just the soldier wearing the uniform. It is made by the spouse who tucks the kids in at night alone during the long hours on the trail. It is made by the parents who wait anxiously for that quick phone call to be proud of their son or daughter's accomplishments, but missing their presence at home. It is made by the children who look at the calendar and count down the days until their mother or father can be home again. Your support is not invisible, nor is it dismissed. It is the quiet strength that holds this entire institution together. Every past drill sergeant here today has been lifted by the patience, the love, and the resilience of their family and friends. Without you, this moment would not be possible. So on behalf of the United States Army, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You are part of this mission, you are part of this legacy, and your sacrifice makes our Army stronger. Graduates, guests, please join me in a round of applause showing our appreciation for the families who stand behind these buildings. Drill sergeants, as you prepare to take your place on the trail, remember, the Army does not exist without its people, and people do not become soldiers without drill sergeants. You are the bridge between civilian and soldier, between a potential and a reality. You are the standard bearer of our profession. Wear the hat with pride, lead with integrity, train with passion, and never forget, you are part of a legacy that began at Valley Forge, which carried forward at Normandy and Incheon, that continues today wherever American soldiers serve. I leave you with the great words of General George S. Patton, who once said, "You're always on parade." Remember that. Creative presence versus just being present. Every soldier you lead is watching. They'll take their cues from you. Carry yourselves with pride because you're representing not just yourself, but the United States Army. Congratulations, WOLFPACK. The Army, our nation, are stronger because of you. This will defend.
Yeah, I'm gonna break the protocol real fast because I'm the commandant. Hey, if you do me a special favor, I've been a commandant for about 17 months, and that's how long it's taken my lovely bride of 26 years, who made the tactical blunder of making it known that she's here, sitting all by herself in the upper right-hand corner. 26 years in Army-wide, 4 deployments, drill sergeant time, and the spouse of a command sergeant major for 8 years. Ms. Vesper Vital, do me a favor, give her a round of applause.
The Drill Sergeant Academy would like to recognize the supporter of the cycle for his exceptional professionalism and dedication to excellence in support of the unit's total mission. Presenting the supporter awards is Drill Sergeant Leader Darian Oliver. The supporter of the cycle is Drill Sergeant Leader Tyler Labatt. His behind-the-scenes attention to detail kept training on track with limited distractions. Please join me in a round of applause for the supporter of the award. Drill and ceremony is the basis for standards and discipline in the initial entry training environment. During the course, the drill sergeant candidates are instructed and assessed on their ability to perform and teach drill and ceremony positions and movements, culminating with a drill and ceremony competition. The squad that displayed the highest level of proficiency is awarded the drill and ceremony trophy to be displayed until the following cycle. For class 017-25, the drill and ceremony competition winner is 2nd Platoon, 2nd Squad, who was led by Drill Sergeant James Gonzalez. Please join me in a round of applause for the winning squad of the drill and ceremony competition. At the Drill Sergeant Academy, it is tradition to appropriately recognize those who distinguish themselves by their outstanding performance. In keeping with this tradition, the following awards are presented. The Drill Sergeant Leader of the Cycle is the Drill Sergeant Leader who displayed the highest contribution to the entire platoon, created an impeccable learning environment, and displayed a standard for all graduating drill sergeants to follow. For class 017-25, the Drill Sergeant Leader of the Cycle is Drill Sergeant Leader Isaac Golden. At this time, First Command will present the Drill Sergeant Leader of the Cycle with a gift for their outstanding leadership.
On behalf of First Command, we want to thank you for your dedicated service. Job well done. Congratulations.
Please join me in a round of applause for the Drill Sergeant Leader of the Cycle. Senior Drill Sergeant Leader Corey Smith will now present the graduating class their distinctive headgear. Please hold your applause and cheering until the awardees have been acknowledged. The Iron Drill Sergeant Award is given to the candidates who displayed the highest degree of physical fitness during the Iron Drill Sergeant Fitness Test. The Iron Drill Sergeant Award recipients are Drill Sergeant Donald Williams III, Goodfellow Air Force Base, Texas, with a score of 478 points out of a possible 500. And Drill Sergeant Patrice Daniels, Fort Rucker, Alabama, with a score of 486 points out of a possible 500. Each awardee will receive a token for exceeding the standards while in the course. Please join me in a round of applause for the awardees. The following drill sergeant exceeded course standards, demonstrated exceptional physical fitness, and maintained a grade point average in the top 20% of the graduating class. For these achievements, they are rightfully placed on the Commandant's list. Drill Sergeant Donovan McKenzie, Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Please join me in a round of applause for the Commandant's Drill. Ladies and gentlemen, the following drill sergeants are graduates of Class 017-25. Please hold your applause and cheering until the last drill sergeant is acknowledged.
Drill Sergeant Andrew Alcala, Fort Benning, Georgia. Drill Sergeant Alberto Alonso, Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Drill Sergeant Janelle Ashby, Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Drill Sergeant Christina Ballard, Fort Benning, Georgia.
Drill Sergeant Christopher Banks, Fort Leonard, Missouri. Drill Sergeant Adam Batten, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Drill Sergeant Andrew Berglund, Fort Benning, Georgia.
Drill Sergeant Monisha Berry, Fort Gordon, Georgia.
Drill Sergeant Al Brown, Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Drill Sergeant Stephen Byam, Fort Benning, Georgia. Drill Sergeant Jacob Cavallari, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Drill Sergeant Jonathan Chacon, Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Drill Sergeant Corey Clark, Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Drill Sergeant Monica Cole, 108th Training Command.
Drill Sergeant Nicholas Weston, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
Drill Sergeant David Daniels, Fort Lee, Virginia.
Drill Sergeant Clayton Darby, Fort Benning, Georgia.
Drill Sergeant Mary de Guzman, Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Drill Sergeant Aurelio De Leon, Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Drill Sergeant Luke Demas, 108th Training Command. Drill Sergeant Noble Dose, Fort Benning, Georgia. Drill Sergeant Wayden Derlitz, 108 Training Command.
Drill Sergeant Brandon Fay, Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Drill Sergeant Darla Flores, Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Drill Sergeant James Gonzalez, Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Drill Sergeant Samuel Gonzalez LeBron, Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Drill Sergeant Trace Green, Fort Gordon, Georgia. Drill Sergeant Joshua Hall, 108 Training Command. Drill Sergeant Ryan Harvey, Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Drill Sergeant Michael Hayes, Fort Sam Houston, Texas.
Drill Sergeant Mario Hernandez, Fort Huachuca, Arizona.
Drill Sergeant Sebastian Hicks, Fort Sam Houston, Texas.
Drill Sergeant Jack Furtado, Fort Benning, Georgia. Drill Sergeant Christopher Hudson, 108 Training Command.
Drill Sergeant Daniel Emdick, Bismarck, North Dakota.
Drill Sergeant Joy Reese James, Fort Sam Houston, Texas.
Drill Sergeant Freddie Jonathan, Fort Lee, Virginia.
Drill Sergeant Jude Cool, Fort Benning, Georgia. Drill Sergeant Camilo Lopez, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
Drill Sergeant Starling Lorapolino, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Drill Sergeant Eric Macy, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
Police Sergeant Raymond Melendez, Fort Benning, Georgia.
Drill Sergeant Emily Mendez, 108 Training Command.
Drill Sergeant Daniel Masenko, Fort Benning, Georgia.
Drill Sergeant Renee Moreno, West Palm Beach, Florida. Drill Sergeant Deshaun Moses, Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Drill Sergeant Maurice Murphy, Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Drill Sergeant Kelechi Nduka, Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Drill Sergeant Daquan Newell, 108th Training Command. Drill Sergeant Carlos Ortega, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Drill Sergeant Carlos Ortiz Perez, Fort Sale, Oklahoma.
Drill Sergeant Francisco Pizarro, Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Drill Sergeant Justin Peterson, Fort Sam Houston, Texas.
Drill Sergeant Jesse Power, Fort Sam Houston, Texas.
Drill Sergeant Fatima Ramirez, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
Drill Sergeant Ryan Reed, Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Drill Sergeant Timothy Ricardo, 108th Training Command. Drill Sergeant Mitchell Robinson, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Drill Sergeant Steven Rodriguez, 108 Training Command. Drill Sergeant Steven Rodriguez, Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Drill Sergeant Ileana Salguero, Fort Sam Houston, Texas.
Drill Sergeant Pedro Sandoval, Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Drill Sergeant Rebecca Sarmiento, Fort Eustis, Virginia.
Drill Sergeant Gavin Seipel, Fort Benning, Georgia. Drill Sergeant Bryce Sensen, Fort Benning, Georgia. Drill Sergeant David Chopper, 108 Training Command. Drill Sergeant Tyler Smith, Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Drill Sergeant Monsef Taj, Fort Sam Houston, Texas.
Drill Sergeant Jason Talbot, Fort Lee, Virginia.
Drill Sergeant Alec Thompson, Fort Steele, Oklahoma.
Drill Sergeant John Tracy, Fort Leonard, Missouri.
Drill Sergeant Stephen Upham, Fort Sam Houston, Texas.
Drill Sergeant Nicholas Williams, Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Drill Sergeant Christopher Wilson, Fort Sam Houston, Texas.
Drill Sergeant Landon Wolf, Fort Benning, Georgia. Drill Sergeant Dennis Wooten, Fort Benning, Georgia.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for the Army's newest drill sergeants. At this time, Iron Drill Sergeant Patrice Daniels will present a token of appreciation to the guest speaker, First Sergeant Yanni Mugros.
On behalf of Class 017-25,
WOLFPACK!
please accept this token of appreciation for your kind words of wisdom.
You have become what you set out to be, a drill sergeant in the United States Army. The Drill Sergeant Creed is your declaration of your unshakable commitment to the ideals this nation was founded upon and continue to guarantee. At this time, drill sergeants past and present, please stand. As the drill sergeant leader of the cycle, Drill Sergeant Leader Isaac Goldman leads the graduating class in the reciting the Drill Sergeant Creed. The Drill Sergeant Creed is not a creed for every non-commissioned officer in the Army. The honor and privilege is given to these non-commissioned officers to transform America's sons and daughters from civilians to soldiers to fight and win the nation's wars.
This will defend.
Hell yeah! I'm a drill sergeant.
I will assist each individual in their efforts to become a highly motivated, well-disciplined, physically and mentally fit soldier, capable of defeating any enemy on today's modern battlefield.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Army song and remain standing for the departure of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated as the drill sergeants of class 017-25 exit the building. You will be able to join them shortly.
Right hand. Forward, hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Wolfpack leads the way. Hey, ahua. Hey, ahua. Howdy, 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 yeah. Howdy, 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 yeah. Get out the way, move. Get out the way, move. Wolfpack is coming through. Wolfpack is coming through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Wolfpack leads the way. 240 Bravo. 240 Bravo. Lock up, reloaded. Lock up, reloaded. Bullets are flying. People are dying. These are the weapons that I go to war with. These are the weapons that I go to war with. These are the weapons that I like to kill with. These are the weapons that I like to kill with. M249. M249. Locked up and loaded. Bullets are flying. People are dying. These are the weapons that I go to war with. These are the weapons that I go to war with. These are the weapons that I like to kill with. These are the weapons